All right, hey y'all. Welcome back to another episode of the From the Farmyard podcast. And in today's episode, we are talking about chicken breeds. And not like a normal episode where it's just me and Zach. We've got a special guest with us. You want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Ocean.
So this is Ocean. This is my cousin. He is super knowledgeable with chickens and chicken breeds and stuff. So we thought it'd be fun to have him on the podcast today and talk a little bit about all the different breeds of chickens there are. And you have chickens yourself. How many do you have?
19 chickens and a goose.
19 chickens and a goose. That's super cool. I wish I had a goose. But let's hop into this episode, right?
Yep.
So, what are your favorite chicken breeds? Now, I think we all can agree that all chickens are amazing.
Not all, no. Some of them are not the best.
Oh, okay. All right. So, but we like a lot of chickens, right? Yeah. Okay, so do you want to go ahead and talk about what are your favorite chickens and why you like them?
Well, one is a speckled Sussex because its feathers are pretty a lot.
Yeah, that's true. And then
another is the Old English Game Bantam, really friendly. Oh my gosh! At least the one that I got was really friendly, but they can be mean.
Right, they can be aggressive sometimes. But you got a nice one, right?
Yep.
And what is that chicken's name?
A Peachy.
His name is Peachy, huh? And he's a really nice little rooster. All right, so what are your other ones?
Old English. No, I already said that one.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay.
ISA Browns. What's that say?
Why do you like the ISA Browns? You like them because they're friendly? Yes. And they're really good
at egg producing.
They're really good layers. And then got two more.
Wyandottes. They're feathered colors because there's a lot of them.
There's a lot of different types of Wyandottes.
And Polish because it's pretty and a great broody hen.
Yep, Bantams typically are pretty good at being broody.
She wasn't a Bantam.
Polish are pretty good at.
True.
Yeah.
She is kind of like a Bantam.
Yeah.
She was really small when we got her.
Yeah. So you want to go ahead and tell yours, Zach?
Yes, I have a few favorite breeds. My top one is Black Cock Morans, just because of the dark egg, but they're also, I personally like the darker colors. And then the darker eggs, obviously. Easter eggers are also top for me because there's just so many different varieties when you get an Easter egger. You could get 5 different Easter eggers from a hatchery, and most likely all of them are going to turn out to be different colors, different shades of blue or green eggs. And then the ISA Browns are on there too because mine aren't that old, but they're good. Very friendly. Black Star, which is kind of like a black sex link.
Yeah.
My old hen Clara, who passed away, she was a Black Star and the friendliest thing I've ever had.
Yeah.
And then Lavender Orpingtons because they're just beautiful.
Yeah, I want one of those really bad. I just have a standard buff.
I have one of those too.
But I really want. I saw Murray McMurray has like the chocolate ones. Like what? Oh, that's like so cool. So we have a lot of like the same favorite breeds here that we've kind of brought up. But
you say yours.
Okay, I will. So I think my favorite, and I recommend it to a lot of first-time chicken owners, the Black Star Sex Link. I think it's just my personal opinion, the best chicken you can get. They're friendly. They're not mean. And they're really, really great egg layers. So if you want like an all-around good hen, I always suggest the Black Star Sex Link. Just one of my favorites. But for the others, I have the Buff Orpington. They're super friendly. They lay a decent amount of eggs too, but they're cute. They're just chubby little chickens. I like the Buff Orpington. And then ISA Browns are another one of my favorites. They're great egg producers, and I just think their personalities are like hilarious. I feel like ISA Browns just have this curious yet friendly personality to them. And that's one thing with chickens that I always love. I love to see, because I believe that chickens have personality. I just think they do. I think each one has their own special little thing that they do. And I say browns. And then I like Bantams, the Silky and Frizzle in particular. I want to try Polish eventually. But Bantams are good chickens, mainly for looks. If you want Bantams, I'm advising you ahead of time. They are not great egg layers. They're not really supposed to be, but
They can get mean.
they
True.
they can get mean sometimes. But they're typically you get Bantams for looks and not necessarily for eggs, but they'll be great broody hens as well. So if you want a broody, they'll do good at that.
But they're normally always straight runs, so you're probably gonna get a rooster every time.
For Bantams, yeah, they're typically straight runs, so you can get a rooster and a hen. And then the last one I have would be the speckled Sussex, and I don't have a lot of experience with them yet, but I think my favorite part about the speckled Sussex is the feather colors. It's always been a dream chicken of mine, and it's just a beautiful bird. Beautiful bird. But we went through favorites. Now we'll talk about our least favorites and why they're our least favorites. So do you want to go first?
Rhode Island Reds, because they're really not friendly. They really aren't.
They're not for you.
They're for me, but they're not for the other birds that I have.
Right. So they're a little bit not the nicest to your hens and right?
Yeah. White-faced black Spanish. Ugly. Leghorns. Whitey.
Just keep on going. Yep.
That's all of them.
Oh, that's all. Okay,
I only had 3.
So you don't like Leghorns because they're flighty. They're not really that friendly, personal.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's yours.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to do yours, Zach?
Yeah, I'll do mine. And to recap what he said with the Rhode Island Reds not being friendly to the other members of the flock, that also recaps on our last episode with pecking order. They're usually top hens, so that's not uncommon for them.
Right.
I have cream leg bars as my least favorite because mine, I've tried handling her and she hates it. She's the most flighty bird that I have, and I would get rid of her, but I love her too much. White leghorns, also what Ocean said, they're flighty, and I just don't like that. Since mine have gotten a little bit older, they've actually calmed down a lot, and then I have 3 leghorn chicks that aren't flighty. Well, aren't as bad as the other ones were, but they're still flighty. Right. And Buff Orpington I have to put on this list because I just don't like them. I think they're more of the kind of generic chicken along with Rhode Island Reds.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
I mean, mine's a bully. She also doesn't like me.
Oh.
And I think that it's just generic. Like, I mean, when you think of a chicken, you think of the Rhode Island Red or the Buff Orpington. That's just my person. I mean, I do love my Buff Orpington, but she's a pain in the butt a lot of the time.
Oh, we cannot be friends anymore. Podcast over. We're done.
No, podcast is not done. I'll get another Buff Orpington and then I'll give my reviews after that.
Okay. My Buff Orpington is really nice. I love her.
A small one that's a little small.
My Buff Brahma, yeah.
No, not your Buff Brahma. Your small. What? Which ones are you talking
about?
My
Buff Orpington.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
She's not small. She's chunky.
No, the other. Remember that one where I was down there and she was really small, and then there was that one that you saw in Americana. That one was big.
Oh,
yeah.
No, I don't remember. We're just gonna keep going from that.
Yeah, let's keep on going.
Okay. So I think we can all agree for least favorite. I think we all had Leghorns on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wrote Leghorns as well. They're just, whenever I get chickens, I want a friendly, personal chicken that'll just want to be have
Okay.
me be around. One that'll be friendly. That'll be
Not like that. You can actually pick it up in
Yeah,
your life and
that
stuff.
you can actually pick up,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it just doesn't go flying and running away.
Well, my one Americana does that. So,
Yeah.
yeah, she does a wing burn, so she brushes it right against my face, and it
A
really
wing
hurts.
burn.
It's kind of like
It's like a attack mode for the
Yeah.
chicken. It's
yeah, but her wings are kind of like a sharper type, so
Oh.
they go against me, and then I get like a brush burn off of it.
Okay.
Mhm.
So wing attack.
Mhm.
Nice. I don't like Rhode Island Reds either. And the reason why is probably because
They don't lay
people
eggs.
say they lay pretty good, but mine just didn't. Mine didn't lay good, and mine lay in random places, and it's just annoying. So it really. I guess I got a dud batch maybe. But I think a lot of people say that Rhode Island Reds are good breeds to start with, but for me, they're just not my favorite. They're also not like beautiful either. They're just a plain
Sometimes I like
color. So
Sometimes I kind of like a plain color.
yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes you want a pretty one. Sometimes you just want a normal colored looking one.
Right.
Mhm.
There's a lot of different types of chickens, huh? A lot of chickens.
Because there's a lot of varieties of that same breed. Like Old English Games, there's 13 varieties of that kind. So there's a lot of varieties.
See what I mean? This kid knows some stuff. And then probably Wyandottes. They're just not friendly. They're just not a preference for me. I
Yeah,
don't care.
they're not friendly for you. The one I had was definitely friendly.
They're friendly for me too.
Okay, mine's a turd then. So we're going through a list here. You can probably tell. But we want to make sure y'all get all the info about different types of breeds. So when you go to buy chicks, you know what the best option is for you. So now we are on friendliest. So let's say you've got
You can
kids.
go first.
Let's say okay, I'll go first.
Okay.
Let's say you've got kids and you don't want a nasty bird, but you want like a good layer per se. Or okay, so let's just go through friendliest first. I'll go.
Oh yeah, you go.
Okay. So, from my experience, I think the Buff Orpington is very friendly. I think it is. The Buff Orpington, the Frizzle Bantam is pretty chill. They're pretty chill, kind of relaxed birds. Black Star Sex Link, I really like. I just okay. If you're gonna get birds, if there's Black Star Sex Link, I'm telling you, get you some Black Star Sex Link. They're just amazing birds. Just amazing. You have some, right? And how old are yours now? They live forever. I swear.
The 4 that I have are 8 years old, and the
8.
And the other 2 I have are not even a year old. They're only a couple months old.
Yeah, because you just got some more, right?
The newest batch I got were ISA Browns and Amberlings. The second newest batch were the Rhode Island Reds, the Bantams, and the Black Sex Links.
Nice. Black Star Sex Links.
Mm-hmm.
They're pretty good breeds. But from my experience, a lot of hens can be friendly. It's just you spending time with them and them knowing that you're the boss. Because if you're not out there with them and they're not seeing that you're in charge, that you're the head of the flock, head honcho. Like
Linus is the biggest, so she will attack me. I get up and walk over to her and start walking, and then she starts running away like, I'm the boss, Linus. You're not the boss of the flock.
Exactly. So you got to be the boss, right?
Mm-hmm. She kind of isn't even the boss. The Black Sex Links are, because they scare her. So they literally attack her, and then she'll flop away.
Mm-hmm. So what would you suggest being the friendliest?
Black Star Sex Links and ISA Browns.
Those would be your top picks for friendly?
Yeah, they're the ones that I got are very curious. So, you have to be careful because I have the coat buckle. They'll be they think it's a worm, so they'll be pecking at it. And then when I come in, I'll have a bunch of snow on my boots. I come out and my boots are perfectly clean.
They peck it all off?
One time I was in my jammies, and I kept on having to go back and forth getting more snow on my boots. So, because they kept on wondering what the fluffy stuff was, so I'm like, don't peck me in the legs, don't peck me in the legs. They're really curious, especially the one I have. Very curious.
I say Browns are pretty They're pretty curious birds.
Mm-hmm.
So what would you suggest being the friendliest, Zach?
I have a few, but I think what I wrote down as the friendliest ones are my exceptions because of how I raised them, because I'm very hands-on when they're younger.
Right.
So
right.
they're probably just the exceptions to that, but friendly breeds, I'll do mine and then I'll just go over ones that I consider friendly overall. My black Cockmorans were friendly. Even my rooster was like the friendliest. He would follow me all around the yard. He wouldn't attack me. And I told him from day one when I found out he was a rooster, if you attack me, you're gone. And I think that also sets some boundaries. But also the Issa Browns. I have 3 of those, and every single one of them are friendly. And I'm that breed that's just their traits. I'm pretty sure. I mean, we've all said that. So just traits. But I have other ones listed that I think might be an exception or might just be breed. Easter eggers, which Easter eggers are pretty like hit or miss. Sometimes they're flighty, sometimes they're not, just depending on genetic. Barred rocks are pretty overall. They're pretty loud though for me. And then dark Brahma, Wyandottes, and Black Star, obviously because of Clara. But those are mine.
And those are all, you have all of those, so you know those from experience?
Yes. Some of these I've only had 1 or 2 of, but they have been pretty friendly. I do want to get some silver-laced Wyandottes and try those out and see if they're just as friendly as the gold-laced, and just try different things.
Yeah. And so when you get chickens, the main reason you get chickens is for egg production. Now, some chickens
you want because they're pretty. Like some of them you want because they're pretty.
Right. Some chickens are just for looks. Some chickens don't lay as much as they should. They're just not known to. Like bantams, like we said, bantams do not lay, and they lay really, really small eggs.
They'll be like that. Like you're not going to get any good eggs from that.
Right. So there's a couple different like good egg producers, and I have a couple written down. And you have some. Do you want to say your 2 first?
Black Star Sex Links and Americanas. Those are my oldest ones, but I could also say I say Browns because they have been laying me a lot of good stuff.
And how old are your Black Star Sex Links? You said 8?
Those guys probably stopped laying 2 years ago.
So that just shows you that these chickens get really old and they're still pushing out eggs.
Yeah, they were like probably 6 or maybe 7 when they were still laying eggs.
That's about mine are just starting to kind of die down with the eggs. So
I think this year they've definitely quit doing it.
They're retired. They're done.
They've worked 8 years producing eggs. So.
Exactly. They need a break.
Yeah, they do.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have I say Browns from experience, Black Star Sex Links from experience, Black Australorps experience, Buff Orpingtons from experience, and then Leghorns and there's a lot of different type of
Leghorns are
Morans.
Leghorns are even better than I say Browns.
Leghorns do really, really good.
Yeah, they're even better than I say Browns.
But that's if you just want for egg production. If you don't care about friendly birds,
you could get
some Leghorns.
Yeah.
But if you want friendly birds, get the Black Star Sex Link. I think I've said that enough in this episode.
Or Buff Orpingtons. Or Buff Orpingtons.
Yeah. Good, solid breeds. You can do yours.
I have Black Australorps on there. Mine, when I did the hatch out earlier this year, I had no clue who laid the eggs just because I have a few that are just the same. And almost all of them were her kids. So definitely up there in breeds as top layers. And they're also just a really good egg layer in general. White Leghorns. I think I'll always keep White Leghorns because of egg production. And just because I like seeing the white eggs.
Yeah.
Issa Browns, mine haven't started laying yet, but from what I've heard, they can start early and they continue for a really long time.
They do start early. Mine
And then,
did.
yeah, Rhode Island Reds are on this list as well because they lay. Mine have laid pretty well. I have two, and they both lay practically every day. And then Barred Rocks, just because it's a good breed to. They lay really well for me. I think mine laid every day for a year and a half straight until she molted, and then it kind of slowed down after that.
I think I got some dud chickens because my Rhode Island Reds don't lay. They used to lay pretty good, but they've died down.
Yeah, and they're only like 3 years old, aren't they?
They're not old.
Yeah, then
So,
I
They should still be
I mean,
laying.
you probably stop laying probably at age 5. Like
Yeah.
that's probably the age they should stop. So you still have about 2 more years.
Right,
Rhode
and they're
Island
not
Reds.
doing anything.
Well, 2 or 3, they well, from what I've read, age 2 or 3 is when they kind of slow down a little bit.
Mhm.
Anyways, they'll still lay a considerable amount until like 5 or 6, and then kind of not completely stop because no chicken ever really truly stops. It's just
Yeah.
like once or twice a week, and then it just continues to go down from there.
I think mine completely stopped.
Yours completely stopped.
They're 8 years old, so I don't think they're gonna make any more eggs.
They're probably not going to make any more eggs. So, winter is coming, and let's say you have winter pretty bad in your area. You get a lot of snow like we do. We get a lot of snow up here. So, we need birds that are pretty good with winter. So, I have a couple from experience again, and then a couple that I've written down that, I haven't really had, but I know they're good breeds. Oh no, I have all of these. Never mind. I have all these. Black Star Sex Links again. Let's just add like another point. We should rack up points for how much the Black Star Sex Links have in this episode because I feel like they're just the ultimate like crowned champion.
Like,
Just
Please put it in the comments if you have counted
how many times I've said Black Star Sex Link.
There.
Let's do that.
there.
If you count how many times I've said that.
They're both on those ones, the egg producers and the friendliest.
Yeah,
ones.
they're just all in all really good breed.
They're not my favorite ones though.
Okay. They're not your favorites though? Okay. And then the Buff Orpington are good. Brahmas, because they've got their little feathered feet.
I love Brahmas. Probably light Brahmas are the ones that I'd get.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Americanas, they've got little like muffs on their face.
Also, a Simon Frabble also has those.
The salmon faverals.
Mm-hmm.
Those are cool too. They have the puffs on their face. Those are good ones. Yeah. Black Australorps. I think those are good in winter. Wine Dots and Rhode Island Reds.
Do you want to tell everybody that you don't think they should buy Americanas because they're not going to get them?
No.
Every single one you bought, they always turned out not to be.
I know. Every time I bought Americanas, they turn out not to be
Right.
actual
Like
Americanas. It's weird.
the one Americana she got, her newest one, it literally has a poof on its head, but no poofs on its cheeks.
Yeah, I don't have any poofs on the cheeks. It's annoying.
And then you have another one that looks like a buff Orpington,
Mm-hmm.
but it's supposed to be an Americana.
Right. It's weird. So what do you think? Do you have some written down for winter?
kind of the same things that you said, the Barred Rocks, the Brahmas, Black Australorps, Rhode Island Reds. But I kind of use a general rule of thumb when I'm doing anything that's ready for winter or not. And we'll talk about combs later, but it's kind of based on combs. Most single comb chickens aren't good for aren't good for winter because they'll get frostbite really bad and the tips will fall off.
Yeah.
So definitely single comb for hotter climates, and then smaller combs or rose combs are good for winter just because they can't freeze, or it takes more for them to freeze and get frostbite. So That's
So
just my general
do you want to
sense
go
of
over combs real quick? Do you have those? Do you want to go over
I
them?
do not.
Okay, I can read them real quick.
Okay.
Okay, there's a couple different types of combs.
There's a lot of different types of combs.
There's a lot of different types of combs. So I'm gonna read through them, from a book that I have. But there's the buttercup comb, the cushion comb, the pea comb, the rose spiked,
I have that one. And
single rose non-spiked, which the rose non-spiked are typically on Wyandottes. I have a Wyandotte and she has the rose non-spiked. The strawberry, which is like a big lump on their head. You can look all these up too if you're interested.
V.
The V, it's like a weird comb. The walnut, your typical. There's just a lot of different comb types. So if you want to look up the ones that I said, you can see pictures, all that stuff.
And I also want to say just because I said that rose combs are better for winter, that doesn't mean that you can only get them if you live get anything you want, but also know that if their comb starts turning black or purple and it falls off, it's not the best thing, but it's also not the end of the world. It's just life. It happens. Right. So any chickens can go anywhere. They can handle a lot. I've read a lot of things that said they can survive down into the negative teens and still be okay. And most places it's not really getting that cold, and they're outside during that typically. But if they have a coop, they can survive a lot more than just negative teens.
Yeah, chickens are really good at dealing with winter temperatures. That's why they molt. They molt so they get all their winter feathers in and they get all fluffy and bundled up. And the more chickens you have, the more they'll stay warm and they'll heat themselves.
The heat is actually the biggest problem with any poultry because it just takes a lot out of them.
Yep.
So you typically lose more over the summer because of the heat. You really don't lose any because of the cold.
Yeah, they're pretty good in winter. So we're coming down to the last couple minutes here, but we wanted to go over egg colors with you because there's different breeds that have different types of eggs. So if you want a specific color of egg, we have some written down. I'll read a couple, you can read a couple, and then you can read a couple. So I'll go first. So blue eggs. Let's say you want some blue eggs. Americanas are good ones. Cream leg bars, Whiting True Blue and Whiting True Green are some good colored egg layers. Whiting. I pulled these from Murray McMurray Cat Tree catalog. So if you want to, they're free, I think. You can order a catalog, look at all the different chickens that there are. It's super helpful and it's really fun to look through. It's like a magazine just full of chickens. It's awesome. I love it. Do you want to read the dark brown eggs, Ocean?
All right. Dark brown eggs. French black. What's that?
All Morans.
Carper all Morans.
Yeah, Morans. Typically, a lot of Morans lay dark brown eggs. We can say that.
A Wilsomer?
Yeah, all Morans lay the dark eggs.
A Wilsomer? What's
a Rhode Island Red? That's a. Don't read that one. Read that one.
Red Star.
The Red Star.
Yeah.
That's a sex link, isn't it? The Red Star sex link.
No,
it's like a black star.
I don't know.
I think it is the Red Star, and then there's the Black Star. They're both like the same thing, but do you have these written down? Because you can read the light brown eggs if you want, Zach.
I do not. I really know the white eggs by heart, kind of.
You want to read those?
White leghorns, obviously, and I'm pretty sure most Bantams lay white eggs.
Yeah.
Because most Bantams and then some show breeds also lay white eggs. The Ancona lays a white egg.
Yeah.
And I know there's one or two more, but there's not many that lay a white egg. Most of them are brown.
Yeah. A lot of them are brown. So like with light brown eggs, if you get a chicken, a lot of times they're going to lay brown eggs. It's not necessarily going to be dark brown, but it's going to be light brown.
Well, my one bird wasn't. I only have one bird that isn't laying dark eggs.
That isn't laying dark eggs?
Like she's laying like greenish, bluish
and
eggs.
She's an Americana.
Yes.
So that's why she's laying greenish, bluish eggs.
Yeah, but I have another American who's laying brown eggs. Is that? Oh, yep. No, that's blue eggs.
I don't know. Chickens are weird.
Dark. Oh, well,
So-
she's been laying light brown eggs.
And now, like, let's just say green eggs. Typically, green eggs are olive eggers. Yeah. And so I found it interesting. I was looking it up today. How you tell, like, how do you get an olive egger? So let's just go through the breeding of it real quick, because I thought it was really interesting. So to get an olive egger, it's half Marans, half Americana. And why that is because you need a brown egged chicken and a blue egg chicken. And once you cross the two, you'll supposedly get a green egg chicken. And then if you want to continue down that line, you just keep breeding that same concoction and you get green eggs. So if you're interested in getting green eggs and you have a Maran and a blue egg chicken, you know, if you want to give it a try, I think it would be interesting to do. I want green eggs really bad.
Yeah, and I've seen a
beautiful.
lot of people who have continued to do that with different combinations and mixing them and getting even more, like an egg that's a darker green. But you can also mix them with a well summer and get a speckled egg, or you can mix it back to a black coffee ranch to darken that color, or mix it with something that lays a lighter egg to lighten it if you want a lighter color. There are so many different possibilities. I know I've talked about this before, but do your own research beforehand. We can give you some tips, but do your own research. Like I've always said, your own research is key. And if things are conflicting, just get all the breeds and try it for yourself.
Right. So we're coming down to the end of this video. Is there anything else we wanted to touch on before I made a little announcement here?
Nope.
You good?
Yep.
You good?
I'm
Okay.
good.
We have an announcement for you guys. We are going to be doing a Christmas giveaway over on our Instagram. I will have it linked in the description, or if it's not there, it should be linked in our YouTube channel description. So you can check that out. We'll have it posted by the time this video will be up. We'll have it posted.
We have it on here. The giveaway is going to start on, well, we're going to make the announcement on December 16th, and that's when it's officially going to start.
Yep.
And then this video will be coming up Saturday the 17th, and then the giveaway is going to go all the way through December 24th, so Christmas Eve.
Yep.
And then on December 25th, we are going to be announcing the winner of the giveaway.
Yep. So stay tuned. If you want to check that out, maybe win some cool prizes, we'll have it over on our Instagram account. Check that out. But I think that's everything. Thank you, Ocean, for joining us for today's episode. So glad you could come and hang out with us.
Okay.
You glad you came and hang out with us too?
Mhm.
Yeah, it was pretty fun.
Yes. And as always, leave any questions in the comments. You can message us on Instagram. Yeah.
Email us. I'll have the email too. Everything. So give us your reviews, feedback, questions, anything. Let us know. So,
or if we've made a mistake, you can correct us and we can clarify in another video.
Yep.
If you've done something and it's different than what research has told us and we just didn't know this side, please, we're open to criticism, but constructive criticism, not just criticism, constructive criticism, so we can all grow and help better everything.
We want to hear your feedback. We want to hear what you guys think. So thank you guys so much for watching, for joining us for another episode of the podcast. We will see you all in the next one. See ya.
Bye.